Hi everyone, this is Kitty by Games. Welcome to our channel. We're going to be showing Chance to Shine, the Oban Star Racers game that is in the works from our studio. Now this game has been in the works still and we have not given up. We've been working on it for the last few years and doing a lot of beautiful work, and I'm happy to show a lot of this off to you guys, and I can't wait to see what you all think. So to kind of show off at the beginning here, this is the opening gate when it completely comes down, animated by Nameless. We have completely painted the background and animated everything to where we can have the racers on the left and the right side appear to where we can have them go through the gate, and then on the next scene over we'll have you start in the trenches of the race is the kind of goal in mind here. Now, when it comes to a lot of the work that we have been doing, yes, we are on map 2, and map 2 is actually about done. And you can see some of the traps and things have been worked on, some of the other Oban buildings and stuff, cliffs and things. Yeah, this is some Awas traps that you'll be going through. Now, ignore the animation and stuff. You know, it's like the sliding up and down will be controlled by my programmer. So he's going to have full control over that on being able to do those things and when each of these effects go off. And also, we do have gate damages, and that even goes for the other traps. You will be able to damage these obstacles as you are racing. Now, ignore the sky and stuff, you know, but this was in the Game Maker, but now we're in Godot, and so this does not, Godot, you know, sorry. So this doesn't look like exactly what we were having now. So you can see here, you know, we are testing, it was not looking quite right the way that we wanted. There's a lot of cracks and a lot of not seamless stuff going on here. But in a way, like we were testing and trying to find an engine that would work. Now ignore the basic sprite animation of the whizzing arrow. We will be expanding on that, and ignore the sky, of course, that's not accurate lighting that we were going for. Because pretty much when we were testing in Game Maker, we realized that the spine system that we were using was not working properly to the way that we wanted. So we're using Godot, and it has worked successfully. So we are good. Now, when it comes to all the ships are done. As you can see here, each ship is all modeled and everything is made and 100% restored. And we even have the egg and stuff restored. Now, when it comes to Prince Aika and different humanoid characters, we will be putting in commissions to have, like, you know, this character here and this one to be more hand-drawn when it comes to their humanoid characters and stuff. So we can do a lot of special effects when it comes to regards to that. When you are racing, we are making it where you can go up, down, left to right, do rolls and ram each other and stuff, you know, like kind of collide, shoot each other. So that's going to be really cool. You'll be able to shoot each other. You will be able to ram each other and like hit each other side by side. That is something that we are working on, and working on a lighting system to where it gives a false shadow underneath. So, and it is partially a mix of 3D and 2D. So yes, you will have the walls on the sides, and then you'll have different nature elements popping out. What I mean by that is, like, when you're racing, you have an effect like this, where it's like we will have 2D elements having an additional 3D dimension effect to give it more shape, you know, and that is the kind of goal there. So when you are completely going through everything, you're going to notice the rocks, the grass, all the buildings is 100% accurate to the style. Um, and that's what's really was important is to kind of match the style to 1-to-1. And you can see here that we have done that. I'll open up all these guys. So you can see it's a little hard to notice, but yes, these you will be able to hit them when you're racing or see them in the background, and they are done. Here you can see these are some extra additional textures for the floor to kind of give that extra cool looks, and on the sides of the trench you'll definitely get all those cool things. And yes, we do plan on trenches that are completely wet, so that is definitely going to be a thing that we are doing. Now when it comes to the little hills and mountains and things, yeah, they're all done. So this is what it looks like. Let me see if I can zoom in. No, I can't zoom in. Let me see if I can bring it up like this. There you go. So you can see everything is moving and stuff. Beautifully done. It's 1-to-1 to the show, and you'll be racing and stuff, and again, it is a mix of 3D and 2D so that we can do a mixture of elements of, like when you're racing, it'll have the elevation and stuff, and then it'll have the ponds, and then you'll get these and stuff, and you'll go right through in the middle and stuff, or you can go right above, you can weave right through and stuff. But the idea is to kind of give it a way to where it's like we can be 1-to-1 with the style, but be absolutely gorgeous on the stylization to it all. Now, let me go ahead, see if I can pull up the other stuff. Show you all the other hills and things. So this is another one. So these are all background stuff. It'll be above the trenches or in different areas and things, and even on the water areas, this is what you're going to be noticing. We're trying to pay a lot of attention to where we can give a lot of these elements. There will be animals and creatures and birds and things flying around and whatnot. We made sure we're capable of doing that as a visual cue of things of like characters on bridges. You will be able to see characters on bridges and even fishing or waving you on. That is stuff that we are animating, and we really hope a lot of these elements that we are designing here is pretty and does a lot of fun stuff for you guys, to kind of look at. It's just a lot of care to detail. So this next area is kind of an example of the rocks and stuff. This is the beach side. You can see the cliff is going to be having its formations and things, all its little rocks, little details from the bottom to the higher pieces, and even the water stuff, and even the trees, plants, the grass and stuff. Again, it is multi-layered to, you're talking about hundreds of images on top of a 3D track that, so the track is like 3D and it doesn't do a multi-image on the track. The track is solid, but we are doing multi-images on elements in it to kind of give a three-dimensional look and stuff, and very beautiful visuals and things on our low budget. We are very low budget. Something else too that will be very interesting for you as well is that yes, you can choose day, evening, and night on all maps. On every map you'll be able to do that, and kind of showing you guys something new too. Let me go back to the collections. So I'll actually just go up in the Discord. So this is our Kitty Bite Games community Discord. If you're in here, you get to see a lot of the behind the scenes, but over here is the dev channel. And something that's pretty neat, a lot of people haven't seen yet. This is some of the newly created works from Riza Draws. His amazing talent is going through, and we commissioned him to make 5 different onion pieces for map 2, so he has 4 more to do. And you can see here, these are some of the cliff pieces for map 2. So when we are racing in map 2, we'll have the canyon walls on the left and the right, and we will be able to give a bumpy noise surface to it where it has the bumps. It'll have its texture, and then you'll have these cliff pop-outs, to where it gives extra dimensions, extra little details, and we could put these in all different sorts of ways throughout it. And you can see we have even a night version as well, and we can change the colors and stuff in engine, so that's what's important. This is some of the map 1, which is Awas. This is some of our work here, making it where we have 3D looking rock formations on the ocean. When you're racing, you will be able to see these guys, and we did these water and shadow effects. And when it comes to the ocean water, it's like, imagine, it is a hand-drawn plane of a effect that you'll be able to race on, but it's just kind of trippy. Like, you're racing on it and it looks all 3D, and it's half 2D. It's just a lot of different techniques and methods that we've been using. And also, this is the texture for the wall for the cliff map of map 2. And then if you go up, you can see some of the map 2's bridges and things, and you'll be able to weave through these cracks and stuff when you're racing, which is pretty nifty. Keep going up, show you some of the other stuff, all the other cool designs of these ancient ruins and buildings. And you can see some combination of these things, kind of like how we did in Oban Dreams. We had to mix a lot of these different buildings to give a lot of different variations. Something too is we're looking at putting some buildings on some of the onions and stuff. And yeah, you can see all the plants that are going to be showing up, the rocks on map 2, yes, there's going to be roots, and you will be able to hit these roots, and they will shatter, they will break. So these are all breakable. And so, and these are just different other cliff stuff that we've done, and whatnot. And these are actually some of the other ruins for map 1 with Awas. And obviously some of these are perfect for other maps that we can use, but these are some of map 1's works from Nameless. This is Nameless's work that we commissioned to get this done. And here's the cliff for Awas, if I can click it. Look how beautiful that is. And so the texture gives a lot of dimensional look to it, but also when we are racing, it's gonna have its own bump to it and stuff, on the wall itself, and it's gonna be pretty cool. So, and here is the floor of this map. You see we're working on all that. Now, if we actually go over here, we can look at some of the other cool things for a chance of shine. That was the next commission trap that is coming up here. And here's a lot of different references for map 2. And yes, there will be creatures as well, so be prepared. We are going to be animating those creatures and things to pop out of the ground and out of the cliff, and also flying from above. So you can see a lot of fun visual stuff of map 2. Absolutely beautiful work, that we're going to be working on, and it's very close. And this is just a month and a half of work and stuff of getting done here, and we're pretty close to being done. So this is map 2, the look of it, what's it's going to look like, and the combination of everything, and you weaving through everything. This is the desert side of looks of things, and you'll have the cliff, weaving through the cliff stuff. And that's what it looks like in the anime as well. So you'll see this is what it looks like in game. When you're racing, you'll have the floor, you'll have a wall that is going to give the little bit of bumpy stuff, but to give the extra bumps and things, we're going to give the illusion of it with those extra cliff stuff. And you'll be weaving through all these plants and things, and if I can scroll down, these are the plants and stuff, on the floor, and kind of talking about how everything works and stuff, how things break, pretty nifty things there. If we go up, these are just different references. We're talking about different elements, different things. This is the hangar. And we will be able to use some of these images for in-game as well. So they're images from the original show, and we are going to overlay it and do a couple cool things and restore a lot of it and do a lot of fun animations of characters moving around and stuff, working on their ships. You'll have each hangar for each ship, and even to the second racers for the other maps, yes, you will be able to see hangars for them as well, because you'll be able to race the other ships on every map. That is the goal, so you can see a lot of these cool things. It's pretty nifty. These are references for my teams, as we are going through and we're talking about more cliff designs that we have to do, more different elements, and these are complete references from the actual thing, from the show itself, and it's important to us to be as accurate and to do a lot of the things that they wanted to do and couldn't before, and being really accurate to what his vision was. And it's very, very beautiful, to be able to do this, and honor a lot of the things that the original team wanted to do. When it comes to some of the other things, these are some of the other maps. This is map 3, and that's coming up here next month. Next month, map 3 is coming up, and that's going to be all the little pads and lily pads and things, and you got the all those other ruins and stuff, the little rock formations and things. We have designed this before when it came to Oban Dreams, so I cannot wait to be able to do this again, and be able to share that. And something too that's going to be very cool with you guys is I do plan on doing this. This is a plan effect. So how the pirate ship can actually do boarding and things. I do plan on hiring animators to actually do that, to do boarding effects and stuff like that, and seeing how much we can do to make a universal animations of sprites of characters jumping from the other ship, and and we can use the programmer to do the little adjustments for each of the racers and things for the different stuff. But we got each of the different maps, in total it's It's like around 10 or so maps and stuff. It includes everything. Now, something that is taking a bit of time is a lot of the traps on Almas. So we have 2 background scenery artists that are working on it all, and it is quite extensive. So you can see this is Nameless, one of the talented fellas that are scenery and animators. Whoops. It's kind of showing a lot. Let me see here. I think over here, I recently posted. Oh, that's over here. Hold on. Let's go to this area, because I also post in here every once in a while to kind of show what we're up to. Yeah, we have Paradise Arcade in the work as well, with a different artists, and I'll show that in a different video. Just want to focus on the main one. Let's see. Nope, it's down here. Hold on. Did I pass it up? Okay, I think it's around here. Here we go. So yeah, you can see a lot of the different works, the different things here. This is a lower quality image, but it definitely gets the idea across of a lot of the things that we have been up to, There's the beach, and this is all hand animated. So that's all animated works. Some of the ruins and some of the other buildings and things kind of shows what that looks like. Anyway, a lot of fun stuff. Now, when it comes to gameplay, a lot of you guys ask me like, oh, it's like, what is this looking like? What's going on and stuff. So, Oban Star Racers is connected with Chance of Shine. It's connected to a different franchise of our own. It's called Flights of Etheria. Now, it's sister games, pretty much, and they are using the same programming language that will make it where our studio can save money and be able to fund Chance of Shine with saving money on a budget. So, if I can go up, I can show a little bit of stuff. Right over here, this is kind of hard to tell, but this is in Godot, and and we've been just testing around some different fun stuff here, seeing how it works, and trying to get everything working properly. But let me scroll up and find the other shots here. So it's going to be a little bit hard to tell, but this is a moving wall. It's a moving wall, and and this is moving as well, and it's showing that it's one solid wall. It's no longer blocky or anything like that. It's smooth, and that is just what we wanted. And visually and stuff, there's no more whitewashing on visuals and stuff or color issues. Color issues was something that we were really concerned about because it happened in Game Maker. We did not like that. We do not like those bad color issues. This is the spline system that's in a Godot, and this is being worked on by Lee. Something to kind of mention about this too is, as we are figuring this out, Godot is working, so I want you guys to be reassured that we have a working engine that is doing the right job. Something too to be aware of is that when you're playing this game, yes, you have pre-made maps from our teams, but this is a key feature that we are designing from the base up, to where you guys, when you go into the game itself, our goal is to make it where you have a map editor system where you select the theme of the map you want to play on, and you can plot the course of your track, and you can plot things. It's a top-down view just like this, and when you do this, you can put areas of where traps or certain themes of like if this is Awas, you start out over here, you put the start zone here, and if you want it to go straight and then turn, and then go into the cliffs, or into tunnels and then come out to the end, it's up to you. You get to choose, like, each of the stage of the race and how big the map is. If you want, like, the farmlands, the cliffs, you want tunnels, you can do all of that. You have the ability to do so, and you're able to put traps in between certain segments and things. And what you do is like right click, and you can adjust if it's a down slope, up slope, and you can move the dots on the grid and stuff, and make it where the map is easy for you to edit and to design for you to race on and stuff, So you can have user created maps and stuff. This is something that we were testing out in one of the other engines. It's like we're trying to be very particular to where it's like we can have long-term playability, and that is the goal. Is like, how can we make this, when you're playing and things, how can we make it where you can have long-term playability and stuff, on each of these aspects of these games. And this is going to be the same for Oban Star Racers. You'll have the navigation movements right here and stuff. You got the booster, and you got the different shooting and stuff effects, counter, and mana and speed boost, and you got the character right here in the middle. Now, obviously, adjustments of scale is going to be something important to do, because we'll be figuring that out as we go, as we test. So, now, when would you be able to play this game and all that stuff? Well, it depends on our programmer. He's on here, he's working and stuff, and when he works, he's trying his best to get what he can done. This is our programmer Lisa, and he's working hard, and so when he has these builds ready to go, I have instructed him to upload each builds for Windows and stuff to be uploaded to the Patreon. So you can, coming up here, be able to go into our Patreon and be able to play selective games. Now, sorry about that. I gotta bring this back out. There we go. So, you'll be able to follow along on the journey on all the things that we're working on for everything in our studio. And, a lot of these other games is to help budget a lot of the other stuff that we're up to. It's been a lot of work and things, and, we had to take a time out for a little bit because I had a lot of bad health problems and financial trouble and bad living situation stuff that really just made things delayed for almost 10 months or so, and it was very rough and not so fun, when we had a lot of those depressing moments. But, I have not given up, and I've been spending thousands of dollars on getting programming made for this game, and also the art, visuals, and figuring out the best method of technique for us to be able to pull this off and make this something fun, you know, and to kind of give you an idea, think of Little Loud's Flash game, but it's probably more an advanced version because you're actually seeing the angles of the sides of the ships. You're able to crash into each other, you know, shoot each other, and you're able to crash into different elements. And it's not broken up into like multiple different images on the floor and walls and stuff. The floor and walls are going to be 3D, and some of the traps do have to be 3D, you know, so just be prepared for that. It's like some of these traps, yeah, they do definitely have to be a 3D design. And as we do that, you know, it's like we're making it where it's like you feel like you're in a 3D environment and you're racing in 3D, but we have done a lot of tricks to make it where our game engines and our budget can be able to handle everything. You can slide against the walls and stuff, you know, without clipping, you know, to where it doesn't make you lose complete control and crash out and outside the map. No more outside of the map stuff, no more breaking the game, no more all these advanced bugs that we cannot afford to fix, you know. So I hope this is very fun to see, and to kind of leave this off on to kind of show you guys what I'm going to make a video on next. This video here is going to be about Paradise Arcade. So yeah, we've been working on Paradise Arcade and making it where you can play each of the different levels and different kind of fun things. Yes, there is actually a demo. You can play a Paradise Arcade, you know, and I can actually show that stuff real quick before we go. Let's see. I did unpack it. Here we go. Now, I'm going to die. I'm not the best of my own game. I just played it for the first time the other day. So, you know, like this is my third or fourth time playing it. Oh shoot. Okay, hold on. How do I kill these guys? No! No! I always die with these two. Hold on. Let me reboot the game. So yeah, this is a work in progress and stuff and things that we gotta do and fixing gameplay and making it more easier to play. And, you know, this is like, now that I'm able to play it again myself, I'm gonna be able to fix it, you know, and like give a lot of great feedback from my team. Dang, I just keep dying. You know, I really want to give my team some great feedback. But you'll be able to race all the different, I'm going to play as the different racers and bosses and stuff in the game. And, you know, we're doing a lot of cool things. You know, Flights of Etheria is just very visually beautiful. You know, it's like, once it's all done, it's going to be pretty neat. You know, it's going to be a pretty cool game. You know, and kind of give you an idea, this is one of the maps right here. This is what the map actually looks like right here. So, you know, and this is going to be the same for Oban, and you'll be able to see the reflections and things. You'll be able to see the pieces moving and stuff on the water. You'll be able to see the water being animated, you know, and it's going through like almost like the floor is 3D, the sky is 3D and things, but it's all hand painted on the sky. Everything is hand painted, you know, and it's just absolutely brilliant techniques and making it where we can do a lot of nifty things. You know, and we want to do a lot of fun stuff. You know, we've been busy, you know, and don't think Chance to Shine is been done and out. You know, we have been still working hard on it, you know, and yeah, it's slow going, but I'm hoping I can get some more commissions sent in to CRL so I can get the ship to do more different movements and things and get the permanent movements for it so we can get that into engine. I'm hoping to see if Lee can get more of a game build for you guys for Chance of Shine out soon. Right now he is working on the Flights of Etheria, but then again, just know that both of these are using the same game engine and the same programming, language. So it's able to save us money, but they're using the same system of technology. And if you want to follow our stuff and keep up in the know of what we're doing, it's like we have a lot of things going on where you can find us on, let's see here, Blue Sky. It's like type in kitty and then bite, and here you go. Well, that's strange. I didn't know it actually is blocking the trans flag effect there. That's very sad to see that it's blocking that on BlueSky. But anyways, I post on BlueSky Social. I'm no longer on Twitter, no longer on Facebook, no longer on Instagram or anything like that. I don't post on there. And that's because AI has taken a huge toll of stealing our work, and a lot of this stuff we're spending over $10,000 to $15,000 on, and we cannot afford to have AI to steal everything of our works, and it's just sad to have that happen to us, But we try to post on here, to kind of show a lot of the different behind the scenes, what we're doing, and I hope, I could show you guys a little bit. Like, this is some of the early testing stuff. But you can see, this is just kind of trying to make it where we have, it's the memory and stuff balancing and stuff, kind of trying to, budget the game's memory on the amount that is being shown, kind of making it where it's like you don't have your thing crash all the time. But yeah, we are still posting. We've been posting on here for a while, and you can see Paradise Arcade, see all the different things, all the different game stuff, that we've been doing here. There's one of the other characters here in Flights of Etheria, and we've been having a lot of fun making these characters and trying to make it where we can be supportive of our communities and things and show off a lot of the stuff that we're doing. You see here, we've been very, very supportive of trans people, and you may be asking, why Kitty Bite Games? What happened to Sky Isle Studio? Which you can still see the remnants of our studio. Like, we're still like a mixture of that stuff that's in there. And pretty much, when it came to my financial troubles and stuff, I was 2 years behind on the bills when it came to Sky Isle Studio, and I filed for bankruptcy, and I couldn't pay anything. I couldn't renew the business. I couldn't do anything for it. And I had to create Kitty Bite Games because, I was looking at around $1,200 to $1,500 to having to go through renewal and late fees and all that. I did not have the money for that, and it was cheaper just to make a new studio. So that's what I did. I just made a new studio, and and I had to change everything over, but I hope you guys can understand that. I hope you enjoy seeing what we have done, and and we've been picking up a lot more on speed, and I hope to see you guys more in the Discord. I'm not as active a lot lately. I've been having a lot of bit of mental health issues. So, sometimes if you do message and things, I can be very behind on messages, but, we are definitely in here, and we do talk and we do post stuff, and, um, we got different people in the community talking about different things. Um, but yeah, it's like we're talking about different stuff. Um, the team that is working on things, everyone's being hired out through commissions, and, and it's a smaller team, it's like I only have a few artists and one programmer, and I have my music team that produces things, and then audio for voice acting, but I'm keeping the team small between, like, you're talking about 3 to 4 people max and stuff, 2, 3 artists, and, and I'm hoping it keeps things easy, and so far it has, and right now we've been working on this, and we've been having a lot of bugs trying to release this for Android and Apple OS. It has been pretty hard stuff, and we are tired. A lot of bugs and stuff, that we've been going through trying to fix, and we hope we can fix it. We hope we can get a lot of things done, for Squishy Jump and all that. But anyway, I'm hoping that we can release more things for you guys as each months go by. I have the full rights and things to do this, where this is completely my game, and I'm keeping it to the style. I'm keeping it to, honor the concept art, and, and I can't do the anime style too much, because the anime is an entirely different art direction with like 8 different stylizations in there, and that was because of outsourcing, the artworks. But I hope you enjoyed that, and, and just please follow along in the Discord, or just drop in and say hello, and down in the comments say hi and stuff, and under the video, and, and I hope to be able to post more. Now I have a laptop that I'm using. Thank you, Lee, for so much, because I am able to post this now, and I'm able to show the things that we have been working on. I haven't had a computer in about a year and a half. It's been a really rough time, and but I'm happy I'm able to show this stuff, on YouTube now, and bring you guys up to date. And, I hope to see you guys on the other platforms. It's sad we don't have Skyle Studio anymore, but, Kitty Bite Games, it's a pun on a kilobyte. And, and our games are pretty small. We're small games and stuff that are being made, and we hope these small games make money to fund all the other projects, and, and we are hoping Squishy Jump helps fund a lot of our work and stuff coming down the road. Alright, I gotta go, and I will be making another video showing on the other stuff, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will catch you on the next one. Bye.